Good morning, everybody. For those who are taking this class who might not know me, or if you're taking the class in the future and you don't know me, my name is Lexi. I am a doctor of physical therapy. I am also a yoga instructor, and I'm here to bring to you a 60-minute flexibility flow. If you're familiar with my classes, you know that I like to teach really strong postures, but today is a little different. We're going to be finding a little bit more ease in the body, more length and space. So the cues will be different. If you felt my classes weren't accessible to you in the past, this is probably the place for you. So it is 7 a.m. here in California. It's cold, so I'm wearing my socks and my sweatshirt. I'm going to encourage you guys to be really comfy and cozy. Make your space as yoga studio as possible. Light a candle, dim the lights, play some soft music. Really try to relish in the deliciousness of this flow. When you guys are ready, I'm going to meet you on your mats. I actually am going to ask you guys to use blocks today. If you don't have blocks, it's totally fine. We're really only using it for one section, and I'll offer a modification at that time if you don't have blocks. Another thing I would love to suggest is a strap. If you don't have a strap, that's also okay. You can use a towel. It's perfectly fine. Again, it's also for just one section. If you don't have either of those items available to you, you don't need it. It's totally fine. You can skip that part. When you're ready, you're going to come down on your mat. We're going to begin in a chest opening posture. So place your block long ways, like so, on your mat. Okay, and this part of your spine is going to be right where your shoulder blades, the end of your shoulder blades. So for men, that's going to be the tip end of the shoulder blades, and for women, that's just going to be kind of where your bra strap line is. That's where you want to put the first block, and then the second block is going to go tall ways behind it, and that's going to be for your head. So there will be a little adjusting that you'll want to do to get this correct. So while you guys set that up, I'm just going to check to see if the live is working, because last time it didn't. So one moment. Amazing. Okay. Looks like it's working, so when you guys are ready, we are going to begin. So lying down, setting yourself up, putting the first block at that bra strap line or the inferior angle of your shoulder blades, and then your head on top of the block. For the start of class, I'm going to ask for Supta Baddha Konasana legs, so soles of the feet together, knees wide. If you don't have blocks, this is where I'm going to ask you to just lie on your back in Supta Baddha Konasana with your legs in this formation, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Close your eyes. See how you're feeling right now in this moment. Observe your sensations. And begin to draw your awareness towards your inner world. Drowning out the sounds of the room, the light behind the eyelids, drawing everything in. Feeling the sensations of the back of the hand on the floor, the rib cage on the block, the head on the block. Just feel the support of these sturdy structures. Begin to deepen your breath, sending it first down into the belly to expand and stretch the abdominals, and then into the rib cage. As you exhale, try to lengthen the breath as long as you can. Today in our practice, we're going to go for longer exhales. So a little different than a traditional yoga class with equal inhales and exhales. Today I'm going to ask you to maybe find a little longer of an exhale. Keep breathing into the belly, into the chest, maybe counting, and then exhaling, trying to extend the count of your breath. On your next inhale, we're going to begin to move here. So if you're on the blocks, you're just going to slide your hands on the in-breath up overhead, trying to keep contact with the backs of the hands on the floor. Once that's not possible anymore, they can lift, but continue to let the arms come overhead. This is a nice pec stretch, chest stretch. Once the arms are overhead, there's a big, big stretch through the chest. And then exhale, you can let the arms come down by the sides, also letting them drape as close to the floor as you can make them. If you don't have blocks, you're just sliding your arms on the ground for now. Again, inhaling, sweeping the arms, feeling through sticky, tight spots, moving more slowly through those areas. And then once overhead, slowly exhaling, letting the breath out, letting the arms come down. One more time, dynamically stretching the chest. Inhale, arms sweeping overhead, trying to keep contact or as close as you can, the backs of the hands to the floor. All the way till the arms are overhead by the ears. And then exhaling, just draping the arms to the floor. Try not to find a ton of effort here. This is all about draping the body over the blocks. Once you've completed that and your arms are down by your sides, take one more in-breath, fully into the belly, into the chest. And one more slow, extended exhale. Keeping the eyes closed for a moment, place your hands right behind your buttocks. See if you can wedge your elbows underneath you so that they're touching the floor, and see if that gives you enough support to just shimmy, pushing yourself up off the floor. So coming off the blocks, keeping your eyes closed, you can change the configuration of your legs to easy seat or Sukhasana, cross-legged seat. You can keep the eyes closed, don't worry about the blocks for now. Place the hands down on your knees or thighs, sitting up tall through the spine, trying to find length, crown of head to the ceiling. Check to see where your pelvis is. Make sure that you're sitting truly in the middle of your pelvis and you're not rounding back, letting your tailbone come between your legs, or you're not booty popping and sticking your butt out too much. You want to just have a nice flat spine here. If that's not accessible to you, then you can sit on a block. That will give you more space. Gently dip the chin. Flicker the eyes open and just take in the color of your mat first. Once you've done that, lift the chin. Take in the surroundings. You can take your blocks from behind you and move them off to the side if you have not done so already. In your Sukhasana, with your eyes open, you're going to inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, place the sole or the palm of the right hand down by your right hip and side bend over to the right. Rooting down through the left sits bones, trying to find length in the side body. Breathing here. Check to see if your rib cage is flaring off of your stomach. If it is, try to knit it down. Okay, we don't want it to be a back bend, we want it to be a side bend. Inhale, reach the arms back up overhead. And exhale, place the hand down, left hand down, and side bend over to the left. Rooting down through the right sits bones, finding length through the crown of the head, trying not to back bend. Really flush the rib cage down towards the hips. One more in-breath. Extended exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, this time place your right hand behind your right buttocks, sit up tall. And exhale, place the back of the left hand behind the left knee. Right knee, sorry guys. Sitting up tall on your inhale. Exhale, twist. Again, trying to make sure that you're not twisting with your rib cage flaring up or crunching down, right? You want to act like you're twisting in a small column and your spine needs to stay nice upright so that you can fit in the column. Inhale, both arms overhead. Exhale, place the left hand down behind the left buttocks, right hand to left knee, sitting up tall. Exhale to twist. Inhale, find length, crown of head to the ceiling. Exhale, twist deeper. Inhale, both arms overhead. Exhale, place your hands down. I'm going to ask you to wedge your hands underneath your buttocks. If you're sitting on a block, you should still be able to do so. With your hands pinned down, bring your chin towards your chest and just feel the stretch on the back of the neck. If any of these neck stretches are bothersome for you or you have neck pain, you can skip them or you can just feel through backing off a little bit. Keeping your chin towards your chest, you're going to draw the right ear towards the right shoulder, letting the left shoulder stay pinned down, so the left shoulder is staying down to give you a deeper stretch. Exhale, bring your chin back to center, keeping it close to the chest. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder this time, trying to keep your shoulder blades rooted down. One more breath. Bring your chin back to center. One inhale. Exhale, sit the chin up. You can take your hands out from underneath you. Place your hands in front of you on the mat. Lean forward and come into a quadruped or tabletop position. So in your tabletop, ensure that your wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees underneath of your hips. We're going to turn the wrists around so that the hands, the fingertips, are facing your knees. Okay, so the backs of the palms, the backs of the wrists are going to get a stretch here. You can tuck the back toes, inhale. Exhale, bring your heels toward, or your butt towards your heels, feeling a nice stretch in your wrist. Inhale, come forward, back to your quadruped position. Exhale, slide bum towards the heels any amount to deepen the stretch behind the hands. One more time, inhale, coming into your tabletop. And exhale, sink the bum down towards the heels. Come back into your tabletop, untuck the toes, turn the wrist around so that the fingertips face the top of the mat. Inhale, drop the belly, draw the shoulder blades together, coming into your cow. Exhale, draw the navel to the spine, curl the tailbone between the legs, coming into your cat. Again, inhale, dropping the belly, drawing the shoulder blades together. Excuse me, guys. Exhale, draw the navel to the spine. Pull the frontal hip bones towards your face. Once more, dropping the belly, shoulder blades draw together, broaden the chest, sternum comes forward. Exhale, navel to spine. Draw the frontal hip points towards your face. Crunch those low belly muscles. Come back to your quadruped position. You're going to tuck the toes, push your hips back, and come into your downward facing dog. So this is your first down dog of the day. I'm going to encourage you guys to move first. So in your down dog, maybe pedal through the legs, straightening one leg, bending the other, trying to see if you can sink the heel down when the one leg is straight, finding more space in the backs of the legs. Once you've done that, find a little bit of stillness. Look at your hands. Make sure that you're really putting the fingertips should be close to the edge of your mat. You don't want your hands too narrow. If you have really tight shoulders, you can always turn your hands out so that your fingertips are facing more of on an angle instead of the front of your mat. That will help with space in the shoulders. Push the floor away from you. Wrap the upper arm bones. And then you can sink the chest towards the knees. Okay, you want your elbows to wrap around, face your knees. Inhaling nice and deep here. Exhale. On your next inhale, begin to walk towards the front of your mat. You can take as many steps as you like, or you can hop, float, whatever feels good for you. Once you get to the top of your mat, feet hip width distance apart. Inhale, come into a flat back posture. You can tent up onto your fingertips. If you have those blocks, you can absolutely put your hands on them. If not, you can also do shins. That's also accessible. So coming into your flat back, Ardha. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands at the chest in prayer. We're going to do a few more rounds of the sun salutation just to get the body a little warm for more stretches. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, soft bend in the knees, swan dive over, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, coming into a flat back. Exhale, fold. Place the hands down, palms on the floor. Step one foot back and then the other, coming into your plank. Just a moment in your plank, nothing crazy here. You can drop the knees down. Exhale, come into your chaturanga, modified. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Right away, you can step, hop, or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift up. Exhale, forward fold with length in the spine. Tip of the tailbone reaches to the ceiling. Soft bend in the knees if that's okay for you. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come to prayer at the chest. One more time. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, soft bend in the knees, swan dive over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands. Inhale, step your feet back into plank. Chaturanga or knees down, modified chaturanga. On the exhale, inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, push yourself back, downward facing dog. In your down dog, take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, side out. You're ready? You're going to inhale your right leg straight up, coming into three-legged downward dog. Find integrity in this position, so square the hips. Don't let the top hip open just yet. Really engage your right leg. Squeeze the thigh. Point the toe. Really send energy from your hands all the way to the tip of the toe. One breath in. On your exhale, bend your right knee and open your hip. So your right hip is going to stack on top of the left. Keep your shoulders squaring down as best you can. Send the right knee up towards the ceiling as much as it can go. That will deepen the stretch behind the left leg. One more breath in. On your exhale, keep letting the hips twist open, 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 open. Your chest can start to open. And then you're going to touch your right foot to the floor, flipping your dog, coming into wild thing. So in your wild thing, you want to use your hands and feet to really push your chest up towards the ceiling. If your back is bothering you, you have low back pain, draw your navel towards your spine and really try to crunch your frontal hip points towards your face. That will protect your low back. Inhale, you're going to drop the bum down onto the floor, keeping your feet in the exact position that they just were in. And then you're going to bridge yourself back up, wild thing. So just a dynamic stretch here. Exhaling, sinking the bum down. One more time, inhaling, bridging yourself up into your wild thing. From your wild thing, you're going to begin to pass through a side plank. So accepting the weight onto the left hand, the outer edge of the left foot. See if you can pick your right knee up towards your chest, coming into a side plank. If you can't do this, that's totally okay. I'm going to ask you to just grab your foot and bring it to the front of the mat. But if you're with me, you're going to keep your arm up, and you're going to turn towards the front of your mat, pushing your left hand, pushing through the tips of the left toes, and step forward. Your right foot is going to come towards the outer edge of your mat. So coming into your lizard lunge, place the hands down on the mat, keep the back knee lifted. For this first part of the lizard, I'm just going to have you rock back and forth, trying to find length in the spine. So in this position, If you feel like you're really, really rounding and you're not able to sink into the hips because you're back, you can take your blocks, place them under your hands, and that will help you find more length. You can always stay really high up on your tips of your fingers. If you have a lot of space, you can also go down onto your forearms. So just breathing here, moving forwards and back, just flossing the hip. Whether you're on your forearms, blocks, or on your hands, place the back left knee down. Come onto the outer edge of the right foot and allow your right knee to spill open to the side, coming into a little bit more of an external rotation stretch on the right leg. You can place the right hand on the thigh and just gently assist in the opening. I love to move in my stretches. I'm always doing little rocks side to side. I feel like it really helps my hips feel safe to open, so explore that if you feel like it. Okay, whether you're on your forearm or your palm or on a block, it doesn't matter. You're going to try to keep your foot, your right foot where it is, bend the left knee, and just see if you can reach for your foot. If you can't reach for your foot, that's okay. You can totally use the strap or the towel at this point and wrap it around your foot to pull it in towards your butt. But if you can't and you don't have that, that's okay too. You can grab your pant leg. Inhale, you're going to kick your left leg into your right hand, opening the chest, allowing it to spin open to the ceiling. And on your exhale, you're going to pull your left foot into your buttocks and square your hips and chest down. So more of a quad stretch than a chest stretch now. Again, inhale, kick into your right hand with your left foot, broaden through the chest. And exhale, draw the heel towards the buttocks, square the chest down. One more time, kick into the hand, spin the chest open or kick into the strap. And exhale, heel to buttocks, squaring the chest and the hips for more of a quad stretch. Release the clasp of your foot or the strap, place it off to the side. Come up onto your hands if you're not already. Find space in the chest, so sitting up nice and tall, you can come onto your fingertips. Try to find that cow-like stretch where your shoulder blades are drawing together and your sternum is coming forward to the front of the mat to help you find length. On your exhale, you're going to send the hips back, keeping your right foot where it is. Flex the right toes towards the face, coming into a modified half split. So you're in your half split, but your right leg is sort of off to the side. Inhale, find length, so crown of head draws to the front of the mat, tip of the tailbone draws back. Exhale, folding forward, trying to find length. Draw the navel to the spine, that will help you find more space. You want to go for the connection of the low belly to the thigh. One more breath in. On your exhale, rebend the right leg, planting the hands on the mat. Lift the back knee up. Lift your right leg, come into plank. In your plank, you can drop the knees, modified chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, push yourself back, downward facing dog. Right away, left leg lifts up, three-legged downward dog. Squeeze the left leg, so you want to find engagement here first. Squeezing the thigh, pointing the toes, trying to find as much length as you can on the back of the right leg. You can always come up to the tippy toes of the right leg, that's fine. Send the energy out the tip of the toes, one more breath in. And on your exhale, you're going to bend the left knee and stack the left hip on top of the right, opening your hips. Try to keep your shoulder blades squaring down, as in don't let the left shoulder lift up. Try to send your left knee towards the ceiling and really stretch the back of the right leg. One more breath in. On your exhale, keep reaching that left foot over to the right as much as it can, coming up into your wild thing, flipping your dog. In your wild thing, take a nice deep inhale, push through the outer edge of the right foot and the palm of the right hand to send the chest upwards. On your exhale, sink your bum down, keep your feet where they are. Inhale, reaching back up, wild thing. Exhale, sit the bum back down. And reaching up, wild thing. Each time trying to find a little more depth. Exhale, last time here. Sit the bum down. Inhale, reach the arm back up, overhead, wild thing. Begin to turn the hips so that the left hip stacks on top of the right. Draw your navel towards your spine, crunch your frontal hip points towards your face, and see if that gives you enough stability to just casually lift the left leg up, coming into a modified side plank. So you're in your side plank, but your left leg is lifted. If you can, slowly turn onto the toes of the right foot, pushing through your right hand, really trying to find as much space between your chest and the floor as you can, and step the left foot to the outer edge of your mat. If that was really tough for you guys, you can always just grab the ankle and throw it up there. Not a problem. You'll get there someday. So in your lizard lunge, keep your right leg lifted. You can be on the tippy fingers, or you can be on your hands, forearms, blocks, whatever's accessible to you. But the number one thing is length in the spine. So crown of head draws towards the front of the mat, shoulder blades drawing together, sternum forward. Rocking back and forth, trying to find a little more space and being mindful that your right and left sides can be completely different. You don't have to force the same variation from one side to the next. Just meet your body where it is. On your next exhale, drop your back knee down. Whether you're on your forearms, hands, or blocks, you're going to come to the outer edge of the left foot, allowing the left knee to spill open. Take your left hand, you're going to place it on your thigh, and you're just going to gently allow a little assist of that left knee coming out further. Really just going for external rotation in the left hip. You can rock side to side, try to find a little more space. One more breath in. On your exhale, just play with it. Bend your right knee and see. Can grab the foot? Not a big deal at all. Just grab your strap, grab your pant leg, whatever you can. Or skip it. It's not necessary. For this first part, inhale, kick into your right leg, pressing into the left hand, allowing the chest to open up. And exhale, draw the foot towards the buttocks, square the hips down and the shoulders down. So now you're in more of a quad stretch. Sole of the left foot's planted on the ground. Inhale, kick into the foot, spin the chest open, coming to the outer edge of the foot. And exhale, replanting the foot, heel towards the butt, quad stretch. One more time. Inhale, kick into the hand, allow the chest to open. And last time here, exhaling, drawing the heel towards the buttocks, square the hips, plant the left foot down. Inhale, gently release the back foot, allow it to touch down, come back up onto the hands. Inhale, lift your chest up, pinching the shoulder blades together. In our nice wide low lunge here, we're finding as much space in the hips as we can by allowing the chest to come forward to the front of the mat. Exhale, send the hips back, straightening through the left leg, flex the left toes towards your face, coming into your modified half split. So even though your leg is out to the side, I still want you to square into the hip, so draw the left hip back, the right hip forward. Inhale, find length, so the tip of the tailbone flicks back. Shoulder blades draw together, sternum draws forward, and with all of that delicious length you created, see if you can fold forward, going for the connection between your low belly towards your thigh. It doesn't matter if your breastbone, your chest touches your leg. What matters more is that little space underneath your belly button trying to touch your thigh. That is going to be a lot harder than your chest just rounding forward. One more breath in. And exhale, rebend the left leg, tucking the back toes, lift the back knee. Inhale, coming back into your plank. Exhale, drop the knees down or keep it lifted. Chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, push yourself back, downward facing dog. In your down dog, take a nice inhale, full belly breath. And exhale, sigh it all out. I just took my sweater off. You guys are going to see my cupping marks. It's totally normal. If you have questions, you can ask me about it after. In your down dog, lift the right leg, coming into three-legged downward dog on the inhale. This time we're not going to open the hips, so really keep the right hip squaring down and come onto the tippy toes of the left foot. Push the floor away from you here, squeezing the right thigh. Inhale, come forward, sending the shoulders over the wrists and curl your right knee towards your nose. Push through your palms of your hands. Push through the back foot. Give yourself as much space as you can. Step your right foot forward. Peek down. You want to make sure that when you come into your warrior two, which is where we're going, your front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. So setting your feet up. Inhale, windmill the arms up, coming into your warrior two. Check your alignment. Like I said, front heel bisects the back arch of the foot. Since this is a flexibility class, I'm not going to harp on the alignment of this too much strength-wise. I really want you guys to use this as a stretch for your groin and your hips. So to sink nice and deep in your warrior two here, really come for that 90-degree angle at the front leg. Make sure your knee is not coming in. Push it out so that it's really in line with the toes. Your back hip should be feeling a stretch. So you want your left frontal hip point to come down towards the floor. Okay, so you're actually trying to push your left hip down as your right hip comes up. One more breath in. On your exhale, see if you can wrap your left hand behind your back and come for the crease of your right hip. If it can't reach there, that's fine. You can just leave it at your back. But if it can reach, go ahead and wedge it there. Keep it there. Inhale. Trace your right arm up and overhead, coming into your reverse warrior with a bind. Look down. Make sure your rib cage is not flaring off. If it is, again, flush it down. This is a side bend. Exhale. Come forward, reaching first through the arm, and then place the forearm on the thigh, coming into your side angle pose. Inhale again, reaching up and back, reverse warrior. Exhale, reaching forward, side angle pose. One more time, reaching up, overhead, reverse warrior. Exhale, forearm to thigh, side angle pose. Pause here. In your side angle, you want to go for as much length as you possibly can on the right side body. Okay, so most of the time we're going to end up curling ourselves over, but you want to really kick your hips back towards the back of your mat so you can find a ton of space, the right side body. If you want, you can come to a full bind here, or you can place your hand on the floor, whatever is accessible to you. One more breath in. On your exhale, come up, warrior two. Inhale, straighten your right leg and turn your toes. So now you're facing the side of your mat. Your toes will be slightly in, heels slightly out. So you're in this pigeon pose or pigeon-footed stance. Inhale, place your hands on your hips, nice and tall through the chest. Exhale, hinge forward just halfway here. So once you've gone halfway, you might already feel a nice stretch behind your legs. That's perfect. You want to go for length here, so maybe put your hand on your sacrum and see, is it rounding or is it flat? If it's rounding, see if you can maybe back off of the bend and flick the tailbone back. Okay? Wherever you're at, I want you to place your hands down. If you had to come up out of that halfway fold forward posture, then you're going to use blocks. If you didn't have to, then you can probably be on your fingertips. Inhale once more here, really relishing in this juicy length in the spine. Exhale, Just let that go. Forward folding over the legs. It doesn't matter if your back rounds once you go into a fold. What matters is if you find length first. Then you can let it go. Tip of the tailbone draws up towards the ceiling to find more space in the backs of the legs. Inhale, crawl your hands over towards your right. If you can reach your right foot, that's excellent. If not, that's no problem. You'll just keep your hands on the floor. Inhaling. Exhale, see if you can bend the left leg a little bit to see if you can stretch deeper into the right inner thigh. If your hands are grabbing your foot, you might feel the stretch on the left shoulder. That's great. One more breath in. Exhale, re-straighten that left leg. Crawl your hands back through center. And then crawl them over to the left, trying to reach for the left foot if you can. Still trying to go for depth in this pose, so trying to get the chest as close to the leg as you can. Inhale. Exhale, bending the right leg, allowing the stretch to deepen in the left inner thigh. Maybe the right shoulder. One more breath in. On your exhale, re-straighten your right leg. Come through center with your arms. Half lift, tenting up onto the fingertips or onto blocks. On your exhale, you're going to bend into your left knee, sinking your hips down as much as they can go. Come up onto the heel of the right foot, and you're in your Skandasana. So maybe your Skandasana looks like this, and you're super flexible, and you go pretty low. If not, that's okay. You're actually going to just stay up here, and you're going to be wherever you're at. Skandasana requires a lot of ankle mobility, hip mobility, hamstring flexibility. It's got a lot in it, so don't worry if yours doesn't look like mine. Wherever you're at, your hands can stay on the floor, or if you feel comfortable, you can bring them in prayer at the chest. But you are trying to find length through the spine here, so try not to round forward. Sit the chest up nice and tall. Inhale. On your exhale, wherever you're at, you're just going to allow your bum to come down onto the floor. Even if you had a far way to travel, that's fine. You're going to place the sole of the left foot inside the inner thigh of the right leg. Square your chest and your hips to face the right leg. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, reach forward, coming down over the front leg for your Janu Shirsasana. So this is a forward fold. You're just giving the right leg a little more attention. Same rules apply here. You want to find nice, deep length in the low back, and then fold as forward as you can from there. As much as we love to think that stretches and yin practices and restorative yoga practices are very passive in nature, the reality is that it's actually a very active choice to let go. It's a very active choice to surrender. Our bodies work very hard all day to just hold us together, and that's not just going to stop because we decided to lie down. Our bodies need a conscious reminder to let go. So in these static stretches, scan yourself head to toe. Where am I holding tension that I don't need to be? Where can I just give it up? Where can I just let go? One more breath in. On your exhale, sit your chest up. You're just going to take your right leg, swing it over so that your right knee is stacked on top of the left, coming into Gomukhasana. If this is not accessible, this is a pretty deep hip stretch. You're just going to be in easy seat, or you can be in a double pigeon with the right foot stacked on top of the left. I'm going to be in Gomukhasana here. The further your heels are out away from your hips, the harder it will be. The closer they are in, the easier it will be. Inhale, wherever you're at, arms overhead, nice and tall through the spine. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Whether you're in easy pose, double pigeon, or Gomukhasana, find ease here. I like to take my block and prop my head, my forehead on my block. When the head can relax, so can the upper body. So see how that feels for you. 2 breaths here. Really trying to go for that surrender. 1 more breath in and out. Inhale, gently sit the chest up. If you got your block, just move it off to the side. Exhale, you're going to place your hands down onto your left side body, so next to your left hip. You're going to press through your feet and turn yourself so that you're in this kind of side, you're facing the right side of your mat, you're in a wide angle forward fold. All you're going to do is crawl your hands towards the left, turn your feet, plant your hands at the front of the mat, step your left foot back, coming into down dog. So it's just a really funky full circle transition out of that Gomukhasana. Again, on the other side right away, inhale, lifting the left leg up, finding engagement in the left leg first, really squeezing the thigh, pointing the toes. Come up onto the right tippy toes and stretch the back of the right leg as much as you can. Send the left heel towards the ceiling. Exhale, send the shoulders over the wrists. Really push the floor away and curl the left knee in towards your nose. Really push the floor away, find as much space as you can, and step the left foot forward. Peek down, make sure your feet are relatively close together because your heel of the front foot should bisect the back foot on your inhale. Windmill the arms up, coming into your warrior 2. Check for that stance between the feet. And again, sink into the left knee, going for that 90-degree angle here, going for that stretch today. Again, really draw the left knee towards the left side of your mat. Frontal hip bones towards your face so you're not just hanging out in a back bend. Really sink the right hip down towards the floor so you can get more of a stretch in the right groin. Inhale, wrap your right arm behind you, coming into your half bind. Left hand by the left hip crease if you can get it there. Sorry, right hand. Inhale, reach the arm up, coming into your reverse warrior with your bind. Peek down, look to see if you can see your ribs. If you can, flush them down towards your hips for more of a side bend. Exhale, come forward, reaching with the top hand. Forearm comes to thigh for your side angle pose. Just moving dynamically here. Inhale, coming up into your reverse warrior. Exhale, reaching forward, side angle pose. One more time. Inhale, reaching back, reverse warrior. Exhale, forward for side angle pose. Pause in your side angle. Go for depth here. So finding as much space on the left side body this time as you can, which means you're going to kick your hips towards the back of your mat and you're going to let your left hamstring get a little bit deeper of a stretch. Left knee still comes to the left side of your mat. One more breath in. On your exhale, undo your bind, coming into your warrior 2 for a moment. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Turn the left toes towards the right side of your mat. Inhale, place your hands on your hips. And exhale, fold forward halfway. So in your halfway position, place your hand on your sacrum and check for length. If your back is nice and flat here, meaning if you folded forward halfway and you could still put a cup of water at your sacrum without it spilling over, then you're good. You're going to place your hands down on your fingertips on the mat. If you are not able to do that, if you halfway folded and your spine was still rounding, you're going to back up out of it until your spine is nice and flat at your sacrum, and you're going to use your hands on blocks instead. Okay, so if you're with me on fingertips, inhale, finding just that little extra bit of length, and exhale, fold forward in between the legs. If you're really, really flexible in your wide angle, you can always draw your feet together more, and that will give you more space to fold forward without your head touching. If you're very tight, you might want to bring your feet out wider and allow yourself to get a deeper groin stretch, a deeper hamstring stretch. So I'm going to give you an offer here. You can either stay in your wide angle forward fold, maybe crawl your hands through your feet, and see if you can traction the palms of your hands on the floor to allow your chest to push through the legs. Your tailbone is going to want to flick up towards the ceiling as much as it can to give you that space. Or if you have an inversion practice and you feel comfortable doing so, you can take a headstand right from this posture very easily. If your head is on the ground, you can just wrap your hands around your head, or you can do a tripod variation of a headstand, whatever is more comfortable for you in your practice. But you can just come up into your headstand. If you're here, you're just going to take a couple breaths. If you're in your forward fold, you're just going for surrender. Remembering the conversation I talked about earlier, that surrendering in the body is an active choice. So you want to find the areas of tension and just gently ask it to let go. One more breath in. Exhale, if you're in your headstand, gently find your way out into your forward fold. If you're in your forward fold, gently crawl out, halfway lift up. On your exhale, you're going to bend the right knee, sinking as much as you can. You're going to come up onto the left heel, toes towards the ceiling, coming into your Skandasana on your right leg this time. Again, you might be pretty high up off the floor. That's A-okay. You might be pretty low like I am, but either way, you are trying to find length in the spine, so sitting the chest up tall. Your hands can be at prayer. I like to push my knee, my right knee out to the side with my forearm, or my arm of my right arm. That helps me find a little more opening in the groin. One more breath. Exhale, gently find your bum on the floor. However you have to get there is totally fine. Once your bum is there, you're going to take the sole of the right foot into the inner thigh of the left leg. Square your chest and hips towards the left leg. Inhale, reach the arms up, finding length in the spine. Exhale, hinging forward from the waist, drawing the navel to spine, folding forward. Trying to find that connection between your low belly and your thigh more than anything. If that connection is there, you can then try to drape your chest over your leg. Just find a moment of ease here for a moment. This has been a very dynamic flexibility flow. And this is actually the way that I've always gained flexibility. I'm not very good at sitting in postures, though I would argue that that's actually something that I need the most. But alas, the things we often hate, we need the most. One more breath in. Exhale, begin to sit the chest up. And you're just going to gently guide your left leg over your right. So you're coming into your Gomukhasana, this time with the left leg over the right. If you were in a double pigeon, you're going to do your double pigeon again, but with the left leg on top. Same thing with easy seat, you're going to switch the crossing of your legs. For in Gomukhasana, inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Actually, if you're in any of the postures, this is what I want you to do. And exhale, fold forward over the front of the legs. Again, if you can prop your head, your forehead onto something, that will help you find more ease in the upper body and allow you to fully surrender in the lower body. The nervous system works in such a way where even if you're gripping in your jaw, your eyes, your face in any way, if you're in a hip stretch, your hip isn't going to open if your jaw is clamped down. So you have to try to release areas that might not be related to the stretch. That's going to signal to the nervous system, you can't avoid this. You can't avoid this, so you must let go. One more breath in. And out. Feel free to stay if you'd like, or when you're ready, push yourself back up. Place your block off to the side. You're going to place your hands by your right hip, so you're kind of facing the back of your mat. We're just going to pass through funky transition, so inhaling, coming up onto the feet, just turning your body. Now you're facing the right side of your mat. passing through a little bit of a forward fold. You're going to crawl your hands to the front of your mat, turn your toes to the front of your mat, and step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Your down dog, inhale, lift the right leg up, coming into three-legged downward dog. Exhale, shoulders over wrist, right knee to nose, and place the right foot behind the left hand, your right knee behind your right hand, coming into your pigeon pose. So for everyone today, I'm going to suggest that you bring your pigeon in a little bit. I know it's taught a lot with your knee at a 90-degree angle, but I find for a lot of people who might be a little bit flexible, this stretch just tends to be a lot of torque on the knee. If you pull it in and you point your toe and you're in your stretch and you aim to have your lower shin bone roll to face the floor instead of face out in front of you, that's going to deepen the stretch in your hip more than a ligamentous stretch at your knee. So if you want to talk to me about that, you totally can after. But you're inhaling here, maybe find length. Exhale, come forward into your sleeping pigeon if you haven't done so already. Pigeon is one of those poses that can take minutes, honestly, to really get the body used to the idea of stretching it. So even though we don't have 2 minutes to hang out in a pigeon right now, it's something for you to think about. Pigeon is stretching muscles, like I said earlier, that really stabilize you a lot throughout your day. And they really, really need a lot of encouragement to take a rest. So just be mindful that a juicy hip stretch is never going to be a quick, boom, done. 2 more breaths here. Trying to find stillness as best you can. Once you've exhaled, you're going to inhale and gently sit your chest up. Place the hands down on the mat. Tuck the back toes, just coming through your downward facing dog. Maybe pedal into the feet. You can swivel the hips side to side, stretch it out a little bit. You can always lift the right leg and really just trace your hip open, drawing circles. Place the right foot back down. Inhale, lift the left leg up. And bring your left knee to the chest, setting the left foot down by the right hand, coming into your pigeon on the left. Same idea here, maybe drawing the ankle closer towards your pelvis for this one, pointing the toe, and actively trying to have your lower shin bone roll down to face the floor versus out in front of you. So that would be more like this stretch versus this stretch. I don't know if you can see my shin's facing out this way, but in this direction, my shin is actually facing down. Inhaling, setting yourself up. Exhaling, coming forward, sleeping pigeon, if you have not done so already. Try to find stillness. As much as we've moved in this practice, I want you right now to try to find as much silence in the body as you can. So where you want to fidget, instead breathe deep. And where you want to back off, instead consciously let go. Two more breaths. Last time here. You're ready, just gently sitting your chest up. You're going to roll to the left hip, swing your right hip forward. So you're coming towards your back in this position. Your feet, sole of the feet are going to be planted on the ground. Knees are bent. We're just going to round down using our core vertebrae by vertebrae so we end up on our backs. So just start, draw your navel in, tuck your tailbone in between your legs, and round yourself. Control, control, control. Suction navel to spine all the way down to the floor. Once you've gotten to the floor, bend your knees a little deeper. We're going to set up for bridge pose. Before you do your bridge, I want you to activate your core. So press your low back down onto the floor. Your whole spine is flush to the floor right now. Draw your navel in towards your spine. See if you can keep that activation as you press through your feet and squeeze your bum to lift up. Once you've done that, if it's available to you, try to clasp your hands under your sacrum. If that works for you, then you're going to walk your shoulder blades together so that you're now on the outer edges of your arm and your heart is propped up. Shoulder blades are pinching together as much as they can. Your arms are pinned to the floor and you're getting this juicy stretch for the back of the heart. Keep your buttocks squeezing here, but imagine that you're squeezing a block between your legs. So allow your inner thighs to work to support you here. If your back hurts in this position, then we should back off and draw your navel in more. Draw your frontal hip points towards your face more. One more breath in. On your exhale, gently sink the bum down, unclasp the hands, and allow your butt to come down to the floor. Let the knees fall in, soles of the feet to the edges of your mat. Just taking a little moment here to feel the energy of the back bend. We're going to do one more back bend. I'm going to give you an option to do bridge pose again. If bridge pose is a little bit much for you, you can take your block and take a supported bridge, meaning you're going to put the block underneath your sacrum and hang out like this. Or if you want, you can take a wheel pose if that's accessible to you. So wherever you're at, if you're in wheel with me, the soles of your hands, the palms of your hands are going to place right by your ears. Right away, see if you can draw your elbows a little closer together. Inhale, tent up to the top of your head and check your shoulder alignment. Draw your elbows together and see if you can press yourself up into your wheel pose, keeping your elbows facing the back of your mat. In your wheel pose, allow your chest to open. Inhaling, moving dynamically to push the chest through the arms, and exhaling to back off. 2 more times. Inhale, push the chest through. Exhale, back off. 1 more time. Inhale, chest through the arms. And exhale, gently tuck the chin to the chest and roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, coming onto your back. Grab your knees, pull them into the chest. Give yourself a juicy hug. Maybe rock side to side on the spine. You can take your hands on top of the knees and draw circles with the knees away from the face and then back towards the face. Just to massage the low back. We've got a lot of thick fascia there, so this can feel really nice. And switching to the other side. When you're satisfied, grab the shins with the arms, pull the face towards the knees, activate every muscle in your body here. Really, really squeeze everything super, super tight. Engage one more time for 3, 2, 1. Let it all go. Explode the legs and the arms out on the mat. Flex your toes towards your face and release. Squeeze your butt and release. Pinch your shoulder blades together and release. Tuck your chin towards your chest and release. You have about 2 minutes here in Shavasana. I will guide you out. If you have more time for your Shavasana, I'm going to suggest that you stay here for at least 5 more minutes. But if not, begin to wiggle your toes, your fingers, bringing awareness into your body. Reach the arms up overhead. Stretch yourself along your mat for a big good morning stretch. Keep the eyes closed. Turn over towards your right side. Allow your face to just cradle in your right arm and feel the support of the mat. Keeping the eyes closed, press yourself up to an easy seat at the front of your mat. It's the beginning of the day for me, so I'm going to have my palms facing up for energy to receive. If you are at the end of your day or you were feeling like you needed a little bit more grounding in your day, you can do palms down. With your eyes closed, just take a moment here to really thank your body. Imagine that you could write a love letter to yourself. Imagine that you could step outside of your body and give yourself a hug. I imagine coming to my yoga mat as that very thing. A love letter to myself. A deep hug. I know I'm better for this practice. I hope you guys are as well. The light in me honors and appreciates the light in you. I'm always here for you guys if you ever have any questions, concerns. I'm always here. Bring your hands to prayer at your heart. Dip the chin. Namaste. Thank you all for joining my class. I do request, if you just took my class, for a small donation, maybe Venmo or PayPal. I hate that part of the practice, but such is life. Thank you all again.